Created in the 50s, video games were a brand new development that only a few took part in. After some time, video games had come into the scene as a possible form of entertainment. Two different forms of entertainment emerged from video games. There was the communal aspect of arcades, that had larger machines able to produce more advanced video games, and there was the idea of home entertainment, games made for those that prefer to enjoy them in their own home. These two different styles of video games were not necessarily in combat with each other. However, after some time of development, the consoles of home entertainment were equal to the power of games in arcades. With this came the decline of arcades in some countries. While the idea of arcades never truly died because of the communal aspect of them, they were hindered because of the rapid development of home consoles. From computers to the Dreamcast, the development of games inside the home was immense, and soon rose the culture surrounding video games that we know today. Video games have almost limitless ways to change people's lives. There are those that play video games and are inspired to change different things in their life, those that decide they want to create video games after spending so much of their time playing them. Some take lessons from video games, consciously or not, and apply that to everyday life. There are some games that are made to point out atrocities that happen every day, to bring awareness to those that play the game, so that they can make a difference. There are games made to make you happy, for you to look back upon and have fond memories of, as well as games made to pose questions about the player and how they live their life. There are even games that change the way you are interacting with others entirely, with developers that are innovating in spectacular ways. They are incorporating multiplayer elements in countless new and interesting ways that all provide different experiences. There are competitive games that allow you to create a community with other people, and in some instances, they give you something to strive for. To become a professional in the competitive game of your choice, a hidden dream by many, just as how a young boy wants to be a professional soccer player. For some, this dream becomes a reality, and that is why it is sometimes the easiest way to see how video games change people's lives. Each of these ways, however, all have their own merits, and should not be dismissed. Each of these ways, and so many more, all change everyone's life who has come in contact with them.
Say I didn't have video games or another way to connect with my friends, I probably wouldn't be hanging out with friends, I wouldn't have experiences that I normally would have, that I have with video games. So it helps me connect with my friends even when it's not as easy.
Gaming for me has really opened new doors, not just to people in my community, but to people all over the world, to really get an interactive and social experience to many different kinds of people from all walks of life.
Like I have a completely different set of friends that I almost feel like I wouldn't really enjoy as much. Because like there was a certain point where I was like 5th and 6th grade where there was kind of two options. I could kind of go with like the one kind of friend group that didn't really play as much of video games, more outdoorsy. And then there was like kind of the other group where it was more like, I don't know, nerdy, and they played a lot of games, and I feel like my life would be way different because I feel like I've kind of become more open because of that group of friends. Like I've become more myself. I felt a lot more comfortable with them, and I could just kind of babble along like I am right now, just kind of saying whatever came to my mind, and I just felt it felt really nice just having friends like that.
Video games have proven themselves to change others' lives. With this, video games have become more immersive and compelling experiences, which is comparative to art. When people think of art, they usually view it in a traditional sense. Paintings from certain eras, such as the classical and romantic period, spring to mind. These are all great examples of traditional art, and they provide a great staple of influence in our society today. Therefore, when you compare traditional art to video games, there is a huge contrast of looks and opinions. Traditional art has general characteristics, such as being created with a physical medium, created with intention of meaning, have powerful singular experiences, are interpreted by viewers, and are created by recognized artists. Video games also have general characteristics, such as being created by groups of devoted people, holding meaning that is created through those that play them and those that create them, conditional interpretations, conditional experiences, and dedicated fans. As you can see, there are similarities between the two because they are both art. Art is created by people, able to hold meaning, subject to interpretation, and with these factors come people that are very dedicated to them.
However, art is not something you can easily label. People disagree about artistic mediums we see every day. Everyone has their own opinions when it comes to the definition of art, and that is not a bad thing. If everyone had the same opinion of art, art itself might not fundamentally be art anymore.
Everyone has their own definition of art, and it spawned from their feeling about the thing that they're observing, not based upon something they read in a textbook. So we can argue about the definition of art all we want, but it's not going to matter because someone else's definition is going to be different from ours, and there's nothing we can do to stop that.
In today's society, many people have played video games or have had video games affect something in their life. Unfortunately, there are many that still believe that video games should be dismissed, that they should be looked at as just some cheap entertainment, only for fun. Those that play video games see them for what they really are, a deeper experience, an experience much more human than cheap entertainment, a form of art.
I don't really want to have to convince people that they're amazing artistic experiences. I just want them to be self-evident as that. The idea that art itself is something sort of so deeply subconsciously human that we do know the difference between an artistic experience and a mechanical experience simply by observing it. We might all have a slightly different line, but the only thing that matters is whether the observer feels that it's art. And so to that end, most gamers do believe that games are art, and that's really all that matters. They know it when they see it.